Humans were not born into a ready-made world. They were born into nature. And nature was not always gentle. There was cold. There was hunger. There was darkness. There was danger. Everything could change quickly, and nothing was guaranteed. For early humans, the things that may look simple to us today were matters of life and death. A little water, a warm fire, a safe place under a rock, or an area where food could be found could decide whether a person survived or not. Before humans could think about owning things, they first had to think about staying alive. Food was not always easy to find. Water was not always safe. Night was not only darkness, it could also mean fear and danger. So the story of money does not begin with money. It does not begin with barter either. Before all of that, there was something much older and much simpler. Need. Humans became hungry. They felt cold. They felt fear. They looked for shelter. And slowly, they tried to understand the world around them. This is where the first step in the evolution of money begins. Before the desire to own things, there was the need to survive. The first great truth humans faced was the body itself. The body needed food. It needed water. And these needs could not wait forever. In the old world, finding food was not as simple as walking through nature and picking whatever was there. Humans had to learn the land. They had to understand which plants were safe, which fruits could be dangerous, where animals moved, and where water might be found. This knowledge did not come easily. Wrong choices could be painful. Some days, food could not be found. Sometimes people had to walk long distances to reach water. And sometimes a water source was dangerous because other animals needed it too. Humans were not only trying to fill their stomachs, they were also learning how to read risk. Food and water were among the first great struggles between humans and nature. This struggle made humans more careful. They learned to follow signs, watch the seasons, notice animal movement, and pay attention to small changes around them. Need was not only a feeling in the body. Need became a force that pushed humans to think. Because survival was not only about being strong. It was also about finding the right place at the right time, avoiding danger, and remembering what had happened before. While humans struggled with hunger and thirst, they began to understand their place inside nature. For early humans, fire was one of the most powerful changes in life. Fire was not only about warmth, it meant safety in the dark. It meant protection during cold nights. It created distance between humans and danger. It helped with food, and it brought people together. Near fire, humans did more than warm their bodies. They waited, they rested, they watched. And for a short time, the world around them felt a little more controlled. But fire did not stay alive by itself. It had to be protected. It needed dry wood, a good place, and constant care. If people wanted fire to stay with them, they had to pay attention to it. So fire brought a new kind of responsibility into human life. Once it was found, keeping it alive became important. Losing fire did not only mean losing light. It meant losing warmth, safety, and a sense of protection. Gathering around fire also changed human behavior. People could stay in one place for longer. They could feel less helpless at night. They could wait together, protect each other, and feel more clearly what shared survival meant. That is why fire was not just a tool in the history of human need. It was a turning point in the struggle between humans and nature. In the old world, humans were exposed. Open land could be dangerous during the day. Cold felt stronger at night. Rain, wind, wild animals, and unknown sounds pushed humans to search for a safer place. Shelter was not only a place to sleep, it was a place where the body could rest, where fire could be protected, and where children and weaker members of the group could feel safer. A cave, a rock wall, a natural cover under trees, or a place protected from the wind could mean a lot to early humans. Because humans did not need only food and water. They also needed a safe place. The need for protection made humans look at the land more carefully. Which place blocks the wind? Which area is close to water? Which point lets you see danger earlier? Which shelter can make the night safer? These questions helped humans see nature in a new way. The land was not only something around them, it became a place to understand, remember, and return to. Humans were no longer only moving through nature. They were becoming beings that remembered safe places, dangerous areas, and useful paths. This was important because memory became part of survival. Need did not leave humans still. It pushed them to move. Hunger pushed them to search for food. Thirst pushed them to remember water sources. Cold made fire and shelter more important. Danger made them watch the world more carefully. Through this process, humans did more than survive. They learned. They learned when a place was safe, which path carried less risk, which material could be useful, and which actions could bring danger. Need became the base of the relationship between humans and nature. When humans needed something, they searched. When they searched, they learned. When they learned, they remembered. And when they remembered, they made fewer mistakes. This was one of the oldest forms of order in human life. There were no written rules yet. There was no measure. There was no exchange. But there was need. And need was pushing humans to find a way through nature. That is why the story of money should not begin directly with money. Before money, there were the conditions that made humans want, search, learn, and remember. Money would come later. Barter would come later. But before all of that, humans first had to need something in order to survive. At first, the evolution of money may look like a story of objects, barter, or valuable goods. But in the beginning, none of these things existed. The first reality was human weakness in front of nature. Humans became hungry. They searched for water. They wanted warmth. They tried to stay away from danger. They looked for safe places and learned to read the land. These were not small details. They were the needs that shaped human behavior. Need made humans move. Need forced humans to learn. Need helped humans give meaning to the world around them. There was no barter yet. There was no money yet. There was no shared idea of value. But the force that would start everything was already there. Humans had to live. And to live, they had to meet their needs. In the next episode, we will see why these needs pushed humans to move not only through nature, but also toward each other. Because as humans needed more, they did not only look at the land. Over time, they began to need other humans too. And the second step in the evolution of money would begin there.